Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need a spotlight. It doesn't need attention. Because when you know who you are, you don't chase noise. You move in silence. The loudest guy in the room, he's usually hiding something, trying to prove he's got it. But the quiet one, he's not performing. He's preparing. See, real confidence isn't about showing off. It's about showing up. Every day, relentless, focused, unshaken, not for claps, not for attention, for results. That's the art of quiet confidence. No flex, just focus. No ego, just execution. No need to talk big, because your presence already says everything. Let the world wonder what you're building, and when it's time, show them the power of quiet confidence. True confidence isn't shown, it's felt. Confidence isn't noise, it's not volume, it's not flexing, it's not a speech you rehearse just to look cool. Real confidence, it's silent, it's dangerous, it's powerful, and it doesn't ask for permission. You don't need to wear it like armor. You don't need flashy chains, a six-figure car, or a crowd hyping you up. You don't need to scream, "I'm confident." Because if it's real, people feel it before you ever speak. The most powerful men you'll ever meet, they don't say much. They walk into a room and the air changes. People notice them, not because they're trying, but because their energy demands attention. That's what presence is. You know what makes them different? They've been through it. They've felt pain. They've taken losses. They've been knocked to the floor, and they got back up without a crowd cheering them on. They faced the storm and didn't flinch. They didn't post about it. They didn't cry for sympathy. They suffered in silence. They built their character in darkness, and now when they move, the world pays attention. You want to be that kind of man? Then stop chasing attention. Stop trying to look confident. Stop faking it for likes and comments. Forget the image. Forget the hype. Forget the audience. Because confidence is earned, not performed. You build it. With every early morning, you didn't want to wake up. With every rep when your body screamed, "Quit." With every hour you studied when your friends were out partying. With every moment you showed up even when you didn't feel like it. Confidence is built in discipline, not dopamine. And when you've lived that way, when you've suffered, endured, and stayed consistent, you become a different breed. You no longer need motivation. You move off purpose. You don't need approval. You've already approved yourself. You don't talk about being alpha. You are. And everyone knows it. Because confidence is quiet, but its impact is thunderous. You don't need to announce your goals. You don't need to convince anyone of your value. Your work speaks. Your results speak. Your presence speaks. So the next time you walk into a room, don't try to prove something. Don't posture. Don't perform. Just walk in like a man who's already been through hell and came out with fire in his veins. That's how leaders move. That's how kings move. That's how warriors walk, without fear, without apology, without begging for attention. And hear this, if you're still addicted to people clapping for you, you haven't spent enough time clapping for yourself. Because real growth, real mastery, it happens when nobody's watching, when you're grinding in silence, bleeding in the shadows, and sharpening your mindset when everyone else is distracted. You want to stand out? Then stop trying so hard to fit in. Forget being popular. Forget being liked. Be respected. Respect is earned through strength. Strength is built through struggle, and struggle is where confidence is born. So get in the gym. Build your body. Build your mind. Build your grit. Train like it's war. Read like it's survival. Discipline yourself like your future depends on it, because it does. And the more you do this, the less you'll care what anyone thinks. You'll stop explaining yourself. You'll stop overthinking. You'll stop needing people to understand your journey, because when you're built for this, you don't explain, you just execute. That's what separates the strong from the weak, the men from the boys, the kings from the clowns. Boys chase hype. Men chase mastery. Boys want attention. Men want results. Boys play loud. Men move with deadly precision. And that precision, that power, that presence, it's not something you can fake. It's forged in silence. It's forged when you choose self-respect over distraction. It's forged when you choose legacy over laziness. So what are you going to do? You going to keep pretending, or are you going to get dangerous? Not dangerous to others, dangerous to your doubts. Dangerous to your excuses. Dangerous to the version of you that wants to stay comfortable, because the most dangerous man in any room is the one who doesn't need to say a word. He knows who he is, and so does everyone else. He's not trying to be the man. He is the man. And that's what you're here to become. Stop talking. Start building. Stop chasing validation. Start becoming undeniable. Because true confidence, it's not worn. It's not posted. It's not shouted. It's felt. And when you become that man, the world will feel you before you ever say a word. Let the work speak, not your ego. Let them talk. You build. Let them post quotes. You live them. Let them chase validation. You chase greatness. Because there comes a time in every man's life where he's got to make a choice. Do you want to be seen, or do you want to be respected? Because those aren't the same. One screams for attention. The other walks in undeniable truth. In this world, everyone wants to be famous for something. But most haven't earned a damn thing. They show off before they've shown up. They want praise before they've paid the price. You want to be different? Then stop trying to impress people. Start trying to outlast them. Stop performing for applause. Start bleeding for results. Because here's the secret. The real ones don't tell you who they are. They show you what they've built. There are two kinds of people in this world. The ones who talk about what they're going to do. The ones who already did it. Guess which one wins? Guess which one owns the room without needing to raise their voice? Guess which one leads while the other one is busy clapping for attention? It's always the one who chose work over ego, the one who made discipline his identity, the one who mastered the art of keeping his mouth shut and his grind loud, the one who doesn't post every rep, every step, every second because he's too busy stacking real wins. You know who's the most dangerous man in the room? Not the one talking, not the one flexing, not the one trying to prove something. It's the one you barely notice until it's too late. The one who stayed quiet. The one who studied the room. The one who didn't waste a single move. That man, he doesn't need validation because he's already validated himself. He doesn't need your approval because he earned his self-respect in the dark while the world slept. He didn't just say, I'm coming. He said nothing and showed up like a storm. You think lions care about the opinions of sheep? They don't bark. They hunt. And that's what you do now. You hunt. You get obsessed with what you're building. You bury your head in the work. You become a ghost to the world and a monster in the shadows. And one day, when you finally rise, the world won't ask how you did it. They'll ask where the hell you came from. That's what happens when you stop talking and start executing. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them doubt. Because your silence will speak volumes one day. When your results walk into the room, nobody will ask for your opinion. They'll ask for your blueprint. Your ego wants to be seen. Your purpose wants to build. Your ego wants to talk. Your mission wants to dominate. Your ego wants to be celebrated today. Your grind wants to be respected for a lifetime. So which one are you choosing? Because every day you feed one and starve the other. And only one of them will take you where you truly want to go. The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest. The man who talks the most is usually doing the least. The man with the biggest ego almost always the one with the smallest track record. But the one who shuts up and gets to work, who stays out of drama, out of the spotlight, out of the noise, that's the man building something you'll never be able to ignore. So build in silence, stack your wins in peace, move with precision, execute with zero apology. Let your schedule be your statement. Let your consistency be your confidence. Let your character be louder than your captions. And when the world finally sees what you've been building all this time, don't say a word. Just smile. Because the work already said everything that needed to be said. Let the work speak, not your ego. That's the code. That's the lifestyle. That's the way forward. Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. The world today, it's noisy. Everyone's talking. Everyone's performing. Everyone's trying to look like something. Because they're terrified they're not. All bark, no bite, all image, no substance, all noise, no presence. You see it every day. People faking confidence because they're too afraid to face their own reflection. They puff their chest, raise their voice, flex online, not because they're solid, but because they're insecure as hell. Here's the truth. Nobody says out loud, insecurity is loud. It needs attention. It needs applause. It needs eyes on it. Because it doesn't have a damn thing on the inside to hold it together. That's why they scream. That's why they seek validation 24/7. Because if nobody's clapping, they fall apart. But real confidence, it doesn't chase the spotlight. It becomes the spotlight by just existing. You walk into the room, you don't say a word. And people feel you. That's power. That's presence. That's quiet confidence. No hashtags, no performance, no desperation. Just clarity. Just composure. Just a man who knows what he stands for and doesn't need you to understand it. Because real confidence isn't in the words. It's in the walk. It's not in the noise. It's in the discipline. It's not in the talk. It's in the proof. You don't get confidence from quotes and captions. You get it from pain, from pressure, from doing the hard stuff consistently when nobody's watching. You build confidence in the trenches. In the mornings, you don't want to get up. In the reps, you don't want to do. In the sacrifices no one sees, and the standards you refuse to drop, that's where it's built. And you don't need to post it. You don't need to tell anyone. You just live it. Because the strongest man in the room isn't the one shouting. It's the one listening, observing, calculating, not needing to react, not needing to impress. Because he already knows who the hell he is. Real confidence doesn't come from being above people. It comes from knowing you're not beneath anyone. You don't look up, you don't look down. You look forward and you keep moving. You don't ask, am I good enough? You decide, I'm built for this. Because here's the raw truth. Confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, calm, and deadly. It's the warrior who sharpens his sword alone. The athlete who trains when no one's in the stands. The man who keeps his promises to himself every single day. When your habits are locked in, when your principles are unshakable, when your mind is bulletproof, you don't need noise. You are the storm. You want to win in this life? You better stop chasing approval. Stop waiting to be liked. Stop trying to look confident. And instead, start becoming the man who doesn't need it. The man who walks alone if he has to. Who speaks when it's necessary, not when it's comfortable. Who doesn't fold under pressure, he sharpens under it. Who doesn't panic in chaos, he focuses in it. The man who doesn't show you he's built different, he proves it through how he carries himself when no one's watching. That's not arrogance. That's certainty. That's inner strength. And that's rare. Because most people are chasing attention. But you're chasing growth. Most people are addicted to noise. But you're locked in on purpose. And purpose doesn't need permission. It doesn't need approval. It just needs discipline, silence, and a man who refuses to break. So the next time you feel the urge to prove something, stop, pull back, and remember who you are. You don't need to speak. You don't need to flex. You don't need to perform. Just do the work. Stay grounded. Let your results speak with volume your mouth never needs to. Let the world underestimate you. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. And then show up so dangerously prepared that their words choke on your results. Because in the end, real confidence doesn't ask for respect, it commands it. Confidence is built in private, revealed in public. Let's make it clear. Confidence isn't a gift. It's not something you wake up with one day. It's not inherited, and it's definitely not bought. It's built, earned, forged. And it's not built in front of a crowd, not under the lights, not on the stage. It's built in silence, in solitude, in the quiet hours most people skip. Confidence is constructed in the dark, when there's no applause, no cheering, no recognition, just you. You and the work. You and the decision. Show up or stay the same. And every time you show up, every early morning, every late night, every time you train, study, practice, build, grow, you're stacking bricks. Not for the world to see, but for your own foundation. Because you know the strongest structures are built underground, where no one looks. But that's where the roots go deep. That's where it starts. It's in the repetition. Doing what needs to be done not once, but every single day. Even when it's cold, even when it's hard, even when your mind is making excuses, you override it. You stay locked in, because you're not doing this for a moment. You're doing it for a legacy. Confidence comes from repetition, not once, not twice, but hundreds of times. Doing the work no one asked you to do, training when no one's watching, learning when no one's rewarding you, perfecting your craft when no one's clapping. It's not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You said you were built for more. You said you'd rise above average. And now you're backing that up with action. And then one day, you walk into the room and you don't need to speak. You don't need to announce yourself. You don't even need to try. Presence. That's what people notice. The way you carry yourself. Grounded, calm, ready, no ego, just certainty. Because that kind of confidence doesn't come from noise. It doesn't come from attention. It comes from knowing you did the work. You've been consistent. You've faced resistance and kept moving forward. Real confidence is quiet. It's in your posture, your focus, your control. There's no need to overcompensate, no need to seek approval, because the work is done and the results speak. You don't need to perform. You just be, because you know the hours you've invested, the sacrifices you've made, the discipline you've enforced. Confidence doesn't shout. It radiates. So when the moment comes, when it's game time, when the challenge shows up, you won't be surprised. You won't flinch. You'll be ready. Because you've already faced the pressure in private and you didn't fold. You rose over and over again. Confidence isn't for show. It's for war. It's not there to impress. It's there to win. It's what holds you steady when the world shakes. It's what keeps you sharp when the stakes are high. And it's what makes you unbreakable when the heat turns up. You can't fake that. You can't pretend your way into it. You can't shortcut your way there. You have to earn it. So keep showing up when it's boring, when it's tiring, when it's thankless. Because every second of private preparation is a step closer to public domination. You'll walk into every situation with your chest up, chin level, mind focused. Not because you're pretending to be confident, but because you are. Confidence built in private is the strongest kind. It's real. It's rooted, and it lasts. So train like no one's watching. Work like your future depends on it. Because it does. And when it's time, you won't need to talk. You'll walk in and the room will feel it. Earned, owned, unshakable. That's real confidence. In the end, it's not the loudest voice that wins, it's the calmest presence. The one who doesn't need attention because he already knows his worth. That's real confidence. Not performance, but power. Quiet, unshakable, undeniable. If this spoke to you, hit like, subscribe, and drop the keyword I am confident in the comments to show you watch till the very end. Because the ones who move in silence, they're the ones who rise the highest. Stay calm, stay focused. See you in the next one.